In today's world, children are constantly absorbing information from various sources: TV shows, social media, books, and conversations. Among the many lessons they pick up, language plays a crucial role in shaping their understanding of the world. From a young age, children hear expressions like "what the fudge" or "heck," euphemisms that replace stronger swear words. But are these innocent alternatives as harmless as they seem, or are they part of a deeper conditioning process? The narrative of swear words and euphemisms. Language is powerful. It's not just a collection of words strung together, it carries meaning, emotion, and intent. Swear words in particular are charged with emotion, often serving as outlets for frustration, anger, or surprise. When children first encounter swear words, they often don't fully grasp their weight, but they quickly learn that these words evoke strong reactions. Parents, teachers, and society at large enforce norms around language, teaching children what's acceptable and what's not. To soften the blow, society has created euphemisms, softer versions of the original swear words. Instead of saying, "what the fuck," kids are encouraged to say, "what the fudge." It seems like a harmless swap, but it's not as simple as changing one word for another. These euphemisms still carry the same emotional energy as their original counterparts, and children quickly learn the coded meaning behind them. The impact on children's minds. While "what the fudge" may not seem like a big deal, it's a form of programming. It teaches children that certain emotions or situations
They're trying to play it off like it's an innocent mistake, but it's intentional.
deserve a strong verbal reaction, even if the words are softened. By using euphemisms, society is not eliminating the underlying emotions, frustration, anger, shock, but simply rebranding them in a more acceptable way. Children are impressionable, and they pick up on these cues. They learn that when things go wrong or when they're upset, a forceful verbal response is expected, even if it's not the strongest version of that response. Over time, this shapes how they handle emotions, conflict, and frustration. Instead of developing more constructive ways to process their feelings, they are conditioned to rely on language as an outlet. Swear words as symbols of power and rebellion. Swear words have always carried a sense of rebellion. They're the words society tells us not to say, the words that break the rules. For children, learning swear words is like discovering forbidden knowledge. It feels powerful. Euphemisms, too, carry this weight. Even though they aren't the real swear words, they're close enough to give kids a taste of that rebellious power. But what happens when this power becomes normalized? If saying "what the fudge" feels almost as good as saying "what the fuck," then the emotional release is still there.
I really did not want to write the proper word, man, but people need to listen. It's important, man. I'm telling the truth. I'm telling the truth. They're corrupting us from a young age.
Children are essentially being programmed to express their frustrations through language in a way that still breaks the rules, just not as obviously. Hypothesis: the long-term effect of euphemism programming. The key question here is whether euphemisms like "what the fudge" lead to a more polite society, or whether they simply perpetuate the same emotional outbursts in a subtler way.
They do.
The hypothesis is that by teaching children to use euphemisms, we aren't teaching them how to manage their emotions better, but simply teaching them to disguise them in more socially acceptable ways. Over time, this could lead to a society where the underlying frustrations and anger are still present, but masked by language that seems less offensive on the surface. Conclusion: it's easy to dismiss euphemisms as harmless fun or a polite alternative to swearing, but they carry more weight than we realise. By programming children to
It's bullshit. You don't want your kids saying that word, do you? Do you really want your children saying that word? Pisses me off. My children are grown up now, and one of them says it a lot. Oh, two of them say it a lot. One of them doesn't. I'm not naming them because no.
use these expressions, we may be reinforcing the same emotional patterns that we're trying to avoid. The challenge, then, is to break this cycle, not by swapping out one word for another, but by teaching children to understand and process their emotions in a healthy, constructive way. Let's open our eyes to this subtle programming and question the